On this edition of Lexington Now, July is National Parks and Rec Month, the Arboretum's Children's Garden, and E911. I'm Neil Noah, and welcome to Lexington Now for the week of July 4th, 2022. July is National Parks and Recreation Month, and Parks and Rec is celebrating with Summer Playground Days. Here's more.
The NRPA, which is the National Recreation and Park Association, designated July National Parks and Recreation Month, and it's been going on since the 80s. So every year it's always a great opportunity to get out, see our programs, see our camps. We've got tons of camps going on. We now have playgrounds or kind of activations popping up. We've got Nature in Your Neighborhood. There's tons of activities. So we're really just celebrating everything that is parks and recreation. Summer Playground Days is what we're calling it, where we're going to be popping up in different parks all over the city. And then we've also partnered with local businesses. So each Friday of July, a different business is going to be releasing a product. And then a portion of the proceeds from that is going to go towards planting trees at one of the local parks.
Right now we are in Valley Park, which is a big park located in the 11th district. And this is a park that gets a ton of activity throughout the year, from weddings to birthday parties, kids running on the playground, a soccer program, other activities and dance classes running out of the neighborhood center. So this is always a kind of an epicenter of activity for this area.
It's all free, so kids and families can come out, experience it. We've got the full schedule on lexingtonky.gov/parks. Then we also have something new this year that's Nature in Your Neighborhood. So it's similar to the Summer Playground Days. It's a program that's very nature focused. That's going to be all over different parks over the summer, where there's going to be craft activities and lots of fun things that kind of get kids involved with nature. They're maybe building something with natural clay or using leaves to make an art project. So there's a lot of great opportunities, no matter your age, to really get out and engage. They're all free, so there's plenty of things to do.
A lot of children, don't have the resources to be able to pay to go to a camp or something like that over the summer. So I just really appreciate that our city and Parks and Rec are stepping up and doing programs like these. And they're also doing programming about nature throughout the summer and Parks and Rec month. I think all of us grew to appreciate Parks and Rec more and what they do during COVID, and just the amenities that they offer in our local parks.
Parks and Recreation here in Lexington not only has lots of events all around, but we have multiple community centers, golf courses, aquatic centers and pools. There's tons of recreational activities available at all of the different parks. So if you're into disc golf or mountain biking, basketball, you can always just go visit a park and do whatever you want. But we do have multiple concert series that run throughout the summer at Moondance Amphitheater, Big Band and Jazz out at Ecton Park. There's tons of different free music all over the place. So if you're really wanting to go experience music, bring a picnic, that's a great opportunity. Parks are for everyone, and so we want people to really realize that and understand that no matter their passion, we have a park. So if you go to lexingtonky.gov/parks, there's lots of different links there where you can find your local parks really easily. There's a map that will show you all the parks in your neighborhood, as well as the bigger ones. You can click on it and find out what each of them have. There's also a link to view all of our upcoming events. So if we've got events and programs coming to your neighborhood, or bigger ones like concerts or something, you can find those on there. And then we have a lot of other resources, like the hours for our community centers, which, while it's hot outside, you might want to come in, lift some weights, play some basketball. We've got different programs for those. So all of that information is on lexingtonky.gov/parks. You can also follow us on social media, which is LexKYParks on all the social channels, and we're constantly posting new things that are happening soon, and it's a great way to kind of follow along with what's going on.
One of the Arboretum's most popular attractions is the Children's Garden. Here's what it has to offer.
I work at the Arboretum, and I help manage some activities that we have for adults, but I mostly help run the Kentucky Children's Garden and events for children that we have here. The Kentucky Children's Garden is just like a magical place for kids. It's 2 acres, and we have all kinds of features that will help connect kids with nature and to help them learn about Kentucky ecology, Kentucky geology, Kentucky landscapes, even Kentucky history. So it's just a great educational experience for kids. So every morning we arrive around 9 o'clock. We get the garden set up. We come in, we turn on the stream, we turn on the misters, we get an activity set up, some sort of craft or science experiment. We open the garden up to families. They start pouring in at 10 o'clock. We get to interact with all these families every day. We get questions, what kind of plant is this? We caught this weird insect in the pond, can you help us identify it? So we get to have these really awesome informal education moments where people are really inspired and really learn about plants or animals or science right here outside, and it's a beautiful thing. We have a model train set that the kids go bananas for. We usually will run Percy or Thomas from the beloved children's storybooks, and the kids go bananas. They run back and forth, just expelling all kinds of energy while the parents just sit in the shade and watch them. So that's really something magical for the kids to get to see. It's a huge draw to the garden. But then we have a lot of really simple things that kids love because they don't get to experience them necessarily in their neighborhoods. We have a flowing creek that kids can get in as long as they keep their shoes on. So we recommend wearing water shoes, and they will splash around. They'll build dams. They'll sit in the water. They'll build a dam and then pretty much make a small swimming pool for themselves. It's a really safe place for kids to play and experience a creek. Every day we have an educational activity, and that might be a science experiment, it might be us planting seeds for kids to take home, and it might be a craft. Oftentimes we'll do crafts with the natural materials we find here in the garden, and that's every day, and it's just a station that we set up and families can come one at a time and enjoy it whenever it's convenient for them. So we are geared for ages 2 to 10 years old, but babies come all the time and have a blast. We also have some 14-year-olds that come and spend 4 hours trying to catch tadpoles in the pond. So geared for ages 2 to 10, but a little bit outside that range will also enjoy the garden. Before you come to the Kentucky Children's Garden, here are a few things that you need to know. We do not allow dogs or any pets allowed into the garden unless it's a service animal. Shoes must be worn at all times, so please bring shoes that can get wet. Picnics are not allowed in the Kentucky Children's Garden, but they are very much welcome just outside the gates in the Arboretum grounds. We also only allow children to come in who are accompanied by adults and adults who are accompanied by children. We are open Wednesday through Saturday from 10 to 5, but you need to arrive before 4 because in order to gain admission to the Children's Garden, you purchase admission at the Visitor Center, and that closes at 4. So make sure you get here before 4 to enjoy the Children's Garden. On an average day, we can have 300 people come to the garden, even more sometimes. It really depends if school's in session or if school is not in session. And of course, we close if there's thunder or lightning or very heavy rain, or if it's really dangerously cold or dangerously hot. My favorite part of my job is when there is a kid who hates bees, who's terrified of bees, don't understand what bees' role in the ecosystem is. And then I can catch a bee, help them look at that bee up close, talk about how that bee doesn't really want to hurt you, talk about how important that bee is for pollination, for plants, for flowers, for food, and then maybe that kid is slightly less scared of bees. The same can be said for snakes or other plants even that people may not be afraid of but don't care about. And if you can inspire an adult or even a parent to care about that thing that they otherwise didn't care about, or even maybe even despised, I think that's a really special thing. Please come out and join us this summer. We'll be open through October, and we'd love to see you out here. Come connect with nature.
After the break, join E911.
Celebrating 2 decades of empowerment is the theme for our 20th annual Minority Business Expo, presented by Fifth Third Bank. The Expo is considered the premier business conference for minorities and women-owned businesses in Kentucky. So mark your calendars for August 4th and 5th, 2022 to attend the Expo at the newly renovated Central Bank Center in downtown Lexington. Visit lexingtonmbe.com for details.
Welcome back to Lexington Now. Lexington's division of E911 is second to none when it comes to emergency call centers, and they are looking for folks passionate about helping those in distress.
My name is Mario Cheek. I'm a public safety answering point manager here at Lexington E911. I've been here for 13 years. Lexington E911 handles all emergency and administrative calls for the Lexington Division of Fire and the Lexington Division of Police. We process those calls from answering and dispatching the resources that are needed to respond. We average approximately 1,100 calls per day, calls for the entire city of Lexington. We're located at 115 Cisco Road. We have roughly 80 employees here, 31 call takers, 30 dispatchers, and the remaining in management. The typical day here is unpredictable. No 2 days are the same, and you never know what you're going to get. I wish more people understood how gratifying it is to help someone in need. At the end of the day, you go home and you know you made a difference. Teamwork is essential in this job, especially as it pertains to critical incidents. That's what allows us to be able to effectively handle those incidents in a proficient manner. It takes a team performance to be able to process the needs of the community and the first responders. So that teamwork is essential, and this is a very close-knit group of folks. We are looking for new hires. We're looking for talented, motivated, and positive individuals. You do have to be 18 years of age with a high school diploma, and customer service experience is a plus. We do have an extensive hiring process. It can take up to 6 months. Due to the nature of what we do, it is extensive. That hiring process starts off by applying for the job. There's an interview, some extensive testing, and background checks that have to go through as well. You can apply at jobs.lexingtonky.gov. Any potential candidates for this job should understand that we are a 365-day-a-year operation. We do work nights, weekends, holidays, birthdays. Working here, your coworkers are your family, and so that is one of the most rewarding benefits of this job is it's a family away from home. So we're open, as I said, 365 days a year. We welcome anyone who would like to come out and tour, would like to see what it is that we do, to reach out to us. We do offer sit-alongs, and we offer tours of the facility, so anyone who's interested can reach out and we can show you how things work, and you would be able to see the job that you'd be performing. You can contact us at 859-258-3600. Anyone who is interested in applying here, I would recommend to reach out, come see what we do, and know that if you enjoy helping people, if you enjoy making a difference in people's lives, this will be the job for you.
These are called the dog days of summer, which is a good reminder that your dog and your other pets need to be protected from the heat as well.
As the temperature continues to rise, many people are doing more and more outside activities.
And like a lot of us, we like to spend our outdoor time with our pet. But we as humans take all kinds of precautions. Hat, sunglasses, sunscreen, a bottle of water. We sometimes forget about our four-legged friends like Max here, who are wearing a fur coat 24/7.
To get some tips on how to help your pet beat the heat, I stopped by the Shaybell Veterinary Hospital for some advice.
the time that we see the most heat strokes is now, and so you would think June, July, August, but when dogs aren't acclimated to the weather and the weather changes, that's when we start seeing heat strokes. So April, May, I typically see more than the hottest months, which is kind of surprising. And so make sure fresh water is available. Don't keep them out, if it's over 70 or 80, limited exposure. If you have a very active dog, kind of limit their activity in the heat of the day. Brachycephalic dogs, so dogs with squish nose, Bostons, pugs, boxers, they don't handle the heat well, and so I wouldn't take them to the dog park or running or any outdoor activity, and from 10 in the morning till 5 at night on hot days, because they just can't tolerate the heat. In the heat of the day, keeping them on the grass is better than the hot concrete. Some dogs shouldn't be walked in the heat of the day just because it burns their pads, and so definitely stay off the black asphalt. Sometimes concrete is not terribly as hot as black because it doesn't attract the heat, but grass is going to be better for sure. The big thing to watch for is excessive panting is kind of the first sign. So if they can't get comfortable and they're trying to lay down and kicking their feet out and panting a whole lot, they're restless because they're getting overheated. A lot of times their gums will be really pink and injected, and more so than normal. Extreme cases, you'll start seeing vomiting, diarrhea. A lot of times they can have blood pass in their stool. End stages or convulsions can even cause death. And so if you start noticing that, you need to cool your dog off pretty fast and get them to the vet.
And if your pet's like Joey here, who likes to take long summer drives with his head out the window, you gotta make a plan to make sure your pet spends no time in an unattended hot car.
The hot weather becomes crucial time for animal welfare. What you want to make sure you always have handy is extra water for your dogs and cats. If you keep your dogs and cats outside, you want to definitely have an area constructed where they have adequate shade. And it's essential in this time of season not to leave your dogs or cats locked in hot vehicles. A lot of people just want to spend as much time with their beloved pets as possible, so they want to take them on errands with them, which we totally understand. But sometimes you do need to leave your pets at home or with trusted friends and family, because they can overheat really quickly in vehicles, and it is something that we do respond to. So we can potentially go out if your dog is in your car unattended. If you absolutely have to take your dog or cat with you in the car, make sure you have visible food and water present for them. It's not uncommon for us to do a temperature reading inside of a car and it to be above 100 degrees. So it can be extremely hot in there. That's why animals can get into stress a lot hotter, and especially a lot of small breeds that have more breathing issues can get hotter and into stress a lot quicker. So it is something we see very common. So it is important to just leave your pets at home if you can, but if not, always have that food and water available. Every call that we respond to is situational. We do respond to every single complaint that we get. Anything animal related, but especially when it's animal welfare concerns. And it just depends on a lot of different factors, how much history we have with that particular person, what condition their animal is, how bad distress they're in. If it's something that can be fixed through education, we always want to do that. But if it's something that's beyond the point of education, then we do have every right on a cruelty case to issue a charge and seize the animal if we have to do that. But we prefer to work with the public and educate them to try to make sure that if it's a pet that they love, that they keep at home but in compliance. We rely 100% on the community to call us and tell us whenever they see an animal in distress, in danger, trapped, or possibly being abused. So please call us at 859-255-9033. That's where you'll get to our dispatcher, and we do have an animal control officer working 24/7. You can always visit our website for information, which is www.lfacc.org, or go on our Facebook page, but those are not for emergencies. If you have an emergency with an animal in distress, you should always call us.
It may be a shorter week due to the 4th of July holiday, but there is still a busy schedule of live meeting coverage on Lex TV. And as always, you can catch the action here or streaming online. And remember, for the most accurate and up-to-date information on all city business, check out our website at lexingtonky.gov. Here's this week's meeting coverage. That's all for now, but as always, you can keep up with us on social media. Check out the latest traffic updates on Twitter at LexRex, or catch our live traffic cams on lexingtonky.gov. For all of us at Lex TV, I'm Neil Noah, and that's it for now.